If you like things like gunfights, Shakespeare, or Jamie Kennedy with pink hair, this video is for you. Hey guys, happy Friday and thank you for clicking on this video. My name is Kier and this is what to watch this weekend. So in today's episode of What to Watch This Weekend, we are going to be switching it up a little bit this week. We are going to be recommending Romeo and Juliet, 1996. Romeo and Juliet was directed by Baz Luhrmann, who you might also know as the director of movies like Moulin Rouge and The Great Gatsby and The Get Down. So if you're interested in those movies, you might like this one. The movie brings us into the familiar tragic love story of Romeo and Juliet, but set against the backdrop of a late 90s kind of Venice Beach, LA. Instead of swords, they carry guns, and instead of an ongoing family rivalry, it's two competing industries that are completely against each other. And if you know Baz Luhrmann, we're getting this movie through the lens of a hyper stylized individual, somebody who cares so much about how the color looks, how the clothing looks, how the camera shots work. It's everything that you would expect to see from Baz Luhrmann, and this is one of his first films and genuinely one of his best ones. The movie stars Leonardo DiCaprio and Claire Danes as our teenage Romeo and Juliet, and it does follow the exact script as the original Romeo and Juliet play, and that is something that I think is really interesting about this movie. It's set in modern times, which would make it extremely tempting to adapt the script to modern English. However, instead of doing that, Baz made the creative decision to set everything in modern times, change Fair Verona to more of a Venice Beach, LA, change the Montague and Capulet beef to competing oil and construction corporations. Everything is updated except for the language, so this movie is still written in Old English, which would make it extremely hard to read, but very easy to follow with the help of Baz Luhrmann's amazing visuals. If you don't know the story of Romeo and Juliet, it is a tale literally as old as tragic romance gets. It's about two star-crossed lovers, two teenage kids that fall in love, come to find out they're from rival families that absolutely hate each other, but their love for each other is so strong and their infatuation for each other takes over everything that they can do. And do they live happily ever after? I can't tell you, but what I can tell you is that I love this movie. I rewatched it again last night. I haven't seen it in a couple of years, but I always remember being drawn to the style of the movie, and I think it's actually more relevant now than it's ever been before. The amazing color, the crazy camera movements, and the hyper stylized visuals look like something plucked straight out of a 90s time capsule, but also seem extremely relevant to the style and vibe of today. The performances are, of course, amazing. This is hard stuff. This is Shakespeare. Not easy to do, but everybody on board did a great job, including I loved the small role for Jamie Kennedy. If you guys don't know, I am a huge fan of 90s Jamie Kennedy stuff. I loved him in Scream, loved him in Romeo and Juliet, and then getting later into the years, I loved him in Malibu's Most Wanted, Independence Day, I mean, the list goes on. Jamie Kennedy is kind of an OG actor who's kind of made his way through Hollywood, survived all these years, and kind of floated under the radar, which is a crime, but either way, great performance. So, love it. Anyway, I cannot recommend this movie enough, so if you haven't seen it, let me know in the comments if this video enticed you to see it. I promise you, Romeo and Juliet has never been less boring. This movie is so much fun from start to finish. Thank you so much again for clicking on this episode of What to Watch This Weekend. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. Thank you again for clicking on this episode of What to Watch This Weekend, and of course, this is a new channel, so if you guys like this video, make sure you like it, make sure you subscribe, hit the notifications, maybe share the video with a friend if you're feeling generous. All those things really help out. My channel is still very small and I would love to grow it. Thank you all so much. I will be seeing you again very soon. Have a good weekend.